this is Mary with BackstagePost.com, and today we're here with Mike and Christian from No Bragging Rights. So, first of all, can you guys just introduce yourself and say what instruments you play?
My name is Mike Perez, and I sing for No Bragging Rights.
I'm Christian Lee, and I play guitar.
So, Mike, where are you guys from?
We are from Riverside, California.
And Christian.
Well, not all of us.
Yeah, most of us. Daniel's from Centralia, Washington, and Ryan's from Riverside, right?
I guess.
For the most
I think
part.
we don't really know him.
Yeah, this guy Ryan is like kind of just couch surfing throughout Southern California, and Martin's actually from Ontario, California.
Awesome. So, Christian, how is the band formed?
It's actually a better question for Mike.
Okay, Mike.
The current lineup, should I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. This lineup was formed in like 2005. Christian and I've been around the longest, but Christian and Martin joined I think within a week of each other, and since then just playing locally. Christian was in a band from Riverside that we play shows with, so I don't know. Daniel we met on tour in 2008,
I think, yeah.
and when we needed a fill-in, he actually we actually flew him out to Chicago, and he pretty much has been in the band since then. And Ryan we picked up about
June, between June and August.
in August, yeah. And this is his second tour with us, so Ryan's new.
So, who are some of your musical influences?
Bands that got me into music, like in general, that I was just like, man, I should be in a band, where I was probably like 7th or 8th grade. There's bands like The Offspring, Suicide Machines, Refused, Minor Threat, Anti-Flag, AFI, Bad Religion, stuff like that. And then from there it kind of evolved. I listened, like System of a Down came out, I was like, yeah, that's sick, and like, all kinds of stuff, everything from, metal and hardcore. Hardcore was actually probably the last thing I started listening to. First it was punk, then it was metal, and then probably hardcore after that.
Mm-hmm. So, your newest album, Illuminator, came out this year. How has the fan reaction been to that?
I think it's the best that we've had, from any of our other releases. It seems to have gotten the most response, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the reaction's been good. I think people liked and appreciated the direction you took, I guess.
Awesome. So, what was the writing process for Illuminator like?
Strenuous. Yeah, because we all come from different backgrounds as far as music, and we all kind of have different ideas about what we think our band should sound like. So there's a lot of, scrap parts that never make it, or just, I don't know, it's just like pulling teeth, I guess. But we're actually starting to write a new album right now, and hopefully we can streamline it a little bit. And this will actually be our first album with Ryan, because the last two were with Rick, and with the same lineup, but plus Rick. So I think we might bring him back to work with Mike anyways on writing the vocals and stuff. And this time what's going to be different is we're actually going to track demo stuff on the computer first, on tour, on Ryan's computer. So I think it might help as far as cataloging all the ideas and stuff, because sometimes it's hard to be like, oh, well, what about that part? I forgot how it went, or whatever, So it's kind of...
notorious for coming to practice and the breakdown pattern's different, or we can't remember what a certain riff was or something.
Yeah. So, you guys are currently on tour with A Plea for Purging. How has that tour been going?
It's been awesome. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the best tours we've ever been a part of. As far as each band just is amazing live, and everyone on this tour is super awesome, super nice, super welcoming. They've all known each other from they're all Facedown Records bands for the most part, and they've all done similar festivals. And we came in and they were all super accepting and super open to us. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mike's the only gay guy on the tour, so it's been real real cool for him to be accepted by Christian bands.
By so many Christian bands.
That was a joke, by the way.
Was it?
I don't know. I ask myself the same thing. Are you guys gonna edit this stuff or no? If you choose to.
Maybe.
So I was gonna say that if you wanted, you could even get both of our responses on some of the questions and not just one of ours.
Yeah.
If you wanted more content, I don't know, it's up to you.
Yeah, you could elaborate on the how the tour is going.
Oh, I'll pass on that one. I meant
Okay.
like the earlier one, like the writing process, because obviously
Alright.
the writing process for Mike is different than it is
it's
for
all
me.
different. Mine was
Yeah. Well, if there's a question that you want to chime in on, just go for it.
Yeah, Mike, if you want to talk about the writing process, we can do that right now and then edit it together.
okay. The writing process for me was different this time around. For the first time, it in the past it'd gone just like I'd write lyrics, and all the melodies, and then I'd bring them to the studio, and I would just get bashed on because like ideas don't work or like I write too much or something, and so like I'd have to change it there on the spot, and it really cut into recording time, and so this for Illuminator, Rick and I sat down and we'd meet up, and I'd bring him all these ideas, and he'd kind of tell me if something worked or if it didn't, or to try a different approach, or if he didn't understand what I was trying to get out, which was really cool because like I know what I'm writing about, and but if no one else is catching on to what I'm saying, then it was nice to have somebody to let me the words I guess just bounce ideas off of and see that it all made sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Would you guys have any advice for touring bands that are just starting out and maybe their first time on tour, or what general advice would you have?
There's a lot of things. Well, one, do as much as you can for yourself before relying on other people, because labels, managers, and agents, yeah, sure, they care about your band, but you're the only one at the end of the day that has to live as being a band member. So bands get shelved all the time. Bands don't get the attention they need, and a lot of bands don't ever make it because they didn't have the right people working with them. And the hardest part is finding the right people to work with. We've worked with a lot of different people, and I mean, it's kind of hard to put into one sentence, but basically, don't jump at the first thing that comes your way. Do as much as you can for yourself getting there, and give your band 110%, or don't do it at all, because otherwise you're wasting your time. If it's not your plan to be a touring musician, don't get caught up with your girlfriend and get engaged. Don't buy a car. Don't do stupid stuff that's going to tie you down, because if you really are going to be a full-time touring musician, you need to basically be able to live out of a bag and don't have major commitments that are going to hold you back, because your band's only as strong as your weakest member. So if you have one member that's crucial, say your singer or your drummer or something, that, oh, he can't play that show today because he forgot to take it off work or something like that, well, guess what? Your band's not going to make it, or you need to get rid of those members. And that's kind of stuff that held the band back at the beginning, just too many commitments outside of, touring. And eventually they work themselves out through member changes and stuff, but just don't give up, because sure, your band might not be working currently, but it doesn't mean you might be able to get new members and all of a sudden it's going to work out just great. Or I don't know, I guess that's kind of just comes with experience. It's kind of hard to know going into it, And I guess I would also say buy an air mattress, because I'm pissed that I just barely started sleeping on one, and I spent 3 years touring without one, and air mattresses rule.
So
I don't know if you want to chime in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just basically, it's got to be something that you want to do, and I guess don't take shortcuts. And Christian pretty much said it all.
Yeah, like us. Also, the assumption is that if you make a crappy demo, that labels and people will see past that. Well, they're just going to assume you're lazy. So that's actually a misconception.
Yeah.
Everybody get your money together and get a good recording, because you get what you pay for, and then people will take you seriously. Otherwise, you're just going to be considered another local band. And for us to break from being a local band to being a touring band, we had to spend the money to have somebody tell us, don't do that kind of stuff, that sucks, do this, and then just have a good sounding product that you can promote, because your band is a business. It's like if you're going to buy a burger shop, you're not just going to make crappy burgers and expect to get big, because no one's going to eat there. Same thing with the band. So if you want to beat the best, if you want to beat McDonald's, you want to beat In-N-Out, whatever you think the best burger place is, you have to be at that level or better. Otherwise, your burger place is going to go out of business. So we've made a lot of crappy burgers, but I think our burgers are pretty good now. So
Don't complain about pre-sales. Everybody does it. Everyone has
Yeah.
to do it. Just play the game.
yeah, we pre-sold a lot of tickets, and that's just how it is.